Hey guys, the video cut there. Hopefully it still posts. Hopefully. Hopefully it does. Let's see. One second. Let me actually ensure that the iPad is not gonna die. One second, guys. 1 second, real quick. Just gonna plug this in. All right, great. We've got 23 in the room. Okay. Oops. All right. All right. So, yeah. So for a number of you, we're saying that. Hello, must have faith. Hey, Miss Alchemy. This is pile 5. Yep. Yeah, the energy is real strong there. Oh my. This person may also find that they actually, like, sometimes they affect. I'm hearing also the weather. I'm hearing that specifically for a number of you. This is interesting. I've heard of this. Yeah. For a number of you, like, you feel like, okay, whenever I also come into contact with technology, it just goes freaking haywire. I'm hearing that specifically. And you got the lights flickering here on and off. For a number of you, like, you might actually find that you specifically are placed in environments, in circumstances that are in need of your services. I'm hearing in that way, also of your help. Okay, like perhaps for a number of you actually I'm seeing that you actually you participate in also activities abroad. I'm hearing specifically even perhaps you work with campaigns. I'm hearing, hold on, you work with travel in some way perhaps as well. Like maybe you travel for your work, you work with the Red Cross. I'm hearing that as well perhaps, or you work with some kind of organization perhaps in some way. Where I'm even seeing somebody working with refugees. I'm hearing that as well, or even people who I'm hearing they are recovering addicts. I'm hearing that as well with the Father of Pentacles upright, High Priestess in reverse, and the Hermit upright. For a number of you, I'm hearing I told you so. They've got this. They see things. I'm hearing that again. Like they'll look at someone and just they'll know what's going on also with their body. I'm hearing that. Then they see auras. This person sees auras. No doubt, no question. All right. But again, like for a number of you, I'm seeing that they also, they find that they get invited, or they in some way, they end up in spaces, places in time that are like rather perhaps for a number of you like tragic, even as it may be felt for some. Like, you know, I'm seeing somebody who is actually they work in disaster relief, okay, and even preparedness. They work even on site. I'm hearing for certain countries. I'm hearing that specifically, like, and maybe they are a medical doctor. I'm hearing that specifically with the Five of Pentacles upright, High Priest in reverse. Again, I was hearing Rice University, so whatever that may mean for a number of you. But there's something that is serious for them. I'm hearing, but not in a way of like, oh, I take this super seriously and I get like stressed out about that. No, I'm actually seeing this person is incredibly calm. Even in the face of, you know, quote unquote danger, they are not like, they don't get frazzled. I'm hearing that. So like they might have their Mars in their 8th house. I remember reading about that placement. Okay, it's actually, they say, you know, Mars in the 8th, like, you know, in a time of I'm hearing strife specifically, that is a placement you want to have. I'm hearing that specifically, like they know how to like kind of just keep focused and calm. I'm hearing that specifically. And so, yeah, they have no worries. They don't wonder. I'm hearing as well about the afterlife and the aftermath of certain situations. They understand that things, they have a certain flow, a fluidity to them. They work with the universe. I'm hearing in that way. Now, they also, again, I'm hearing they work with children. They love children. I'm hearing again with the Nine of Pentacles and the Sun. I'm hearing they have an approval letter here with the Father of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, like they're on even some kind of board. I'm hearing that specifically as well. Okay. I'm hearing Stent. They are, for a number, this is a researcher even. They are a researcher. Okay, now this could be an ability that you have. For a number, this is something that perhaps you are connecting with the ability of. Okay, for a number of you, it's like, well, this is an aspect of my being perhaps that is actually activating. It's getting activated here, especially if you have. I'm hearing specifically Jupiter in retrograde in your birth chart, all right? So, you know, any planet in retrograde in the birth chart can sometimes be seen as kind of time released. So the gifts and, you know, talents associated with that planet that's in retrograde in your birth chart, if you do have planets in retrograde in your birth chart, you might find that they kind of are time released. They come to a point of also clarity in some way over time, or you find that you understand them with greater clarity over time. And so again though, for a number of you, like whoever this is, they somehow perhaps they find that they end up in places that really like they call for their faith. That is the focus here, okay, that we see with the High Priestess and the Sun. It's like, it's not really about necessarily even what you do, but what you know. It's about what you know within yourself. That's all we need to really encounter. I'm here to really also inspire change. I'm here to invite also into the space of creating a whole new world. I'm hearing a vibration. I'm hearing vibrational alliance, the Nine of Pentacles, the Father of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So for a number of you, this is something that you're actually coming to realize about yourself. You're like, I realize, like, again, like wherever I go, like I magnetize. I'm hearing I shapeshift. I'm hearing I show people the way. I'm hearing that as well. You are a guide. You are a leader. You know that you're here for love. That is your frequency. I'm hearing in that way. You're not here to necessarily even learn about that space. I'm hearing it as well in that way. You are incredibly, I'm hearing it intelligent. You absorb information. I'm hearing like a sponge. But it's in this I'm hearing it's in this interface that is intuitive. I'm hearing that specifically, like you take information and you assimilate it in an intuitive way. But for a number of you, this is more than that, the knowing of information, the ability to kind of translate it. This goes beyond, okay, the physical, also the interaction. What it really translates to is your ability to connect with others on a spiritual level. I'm hearing in that way, to say it in this way, that you're vulnerable, you're open. Okay, I'm hearing on a heart level. I'm hearing your heart chakra specifically is open, and that is power. I'm hearing in that way. It's powerful. I'm hearing Scorpio, Sagittarius. I'm hearing there's something about also your look. I'm hearing the look in your eye. When you look at people, I'm hearing you fall into them. I'm hearing in that way. You fall in love with them, I'm hearing as well. Wow, interesting. You have also, again, I'm hearing love for everything and everyone. And for a number of you work in a space of activism. You are a transmuter. You would like to see the changes that you make. Again, this is not somebody who feels like I made a promise and then I painted the portrait and then I put it on the wall and I stood there and then I started to, walk away from it and work on another project. No, this is like, I want to look exactly at the faces of the people who are witnessing my work. I want to know that I have faced, I'm hearing myself in that same position, that I have faced what I see they face. This is somebody who is incredibly empathic. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Wow. Lovely energy. Love it. Beautiful with the sun and the high breeze. Oh my. Wow. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. This was so fun. What stacks did you guys pick? And how was the fifth stack for you? Psych 369, delicious. I'm so happy you guys resonated. Yay. Yeah, you want to watch again? Yeah. I'm going to watch this back as well. Very cool. Oh, Misty. Misty! Well, the light going up right there for you. Misty, what stack are you guided, or what stacks are you guided to pick? Hey! I'm so happy to hear that, Serena. Hey, Kedron. Awesome, Michelle. Very cool. Yeah, I am a little chilly. But I was out, so that's why. My parents wanted to go to dinner, so I was like, all right, I will bundle up with another piece of, you know, clothing. The hat. In the last reading I did, the live reading tonight, I just had this sweater on. And then I put the scarf on. And I put the hat on. So, you know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm like, I'm totally bundled up. Like, even if it's kind of warm out, like I'll wear like a sweater, you know. Maybe it's just like the cozy feeling, you know. Hey, Pretty Jay. Hey, TC. I know, Victoria. It's working out. Oh, hello. Is that vis-a-vis? Is that how you pronounce that? Viz AX VX. Oh, you had to switch accounts. Okay, got it. Yeah, so, you know, it's just cozy. So happy to see you, feel you, Pretty Jay. Pretty Jay, you guys, I'm missing the Fool card in my deck. Thank you, Markers, for all the support. Rallying up the support. Yeah, the Fool card is missing. I realized that in the last live reading. I think I left it, I left it in my permit. Part of my scarf is in my mouth. Ooh, does that mean it's true? Did I leave the Fool card in? Oh my. Hey, Jessica. Oh, wait. Must have faith. Vis-a-vis was the Fool card was in the Aries reading. Does anybody like remember, like right off the top of their head, if the Fool card was in any of the readings where you saw this backdrop here? Thank you, Dr. K. It was so kind of you. Thank you so much for your support. Love and light to you. In the the Fool was in the Aries card reading? Oh, wait, so it must be somewhere here then. Huh. Really? It was in the Aries reading with this backdrop that I did? That's so weird. I just saw my aura. I felt like I saw my aura. That's so interesting. I've never actually like seen that on camera like that strongly. The Fool, it was like yellow. It shows like a little like a bird on it. Huh. That's real odd. So search party for the Fool. Yeah. Sending out an SOS. Didn't that come through in one of the other readings? In the live reading, actually, someone commented that song. Such a fool. You guys are like so cool. Yeah, it's somewhere. I really wonder, because that's so weird. And it's not in here. Unless it went absolutely flying. Oh my gosh. Wait. Okay, so whoever is still tuning in, we had the mystery cards at the base of the desk. And they were Father of Swords upright, Chariot upright, the Four Swords upright. So did anybody have any kind of connection to the mystery stack, just out of curiosity? Like, with the mystery stack specifically, did they have any sort of impulsive reaction to it? Interesting. Oh, must have faith. I wonder if the card... So odd. Oh well. Sending out an SOS. That's alright. Oh yeah? You feeling some deja vu? I'm gonna get some water. So are you guys like with your families? Like, where are you? Waiting on an SOS. I'm just pouring rose water in my water bottle. Don't mind me, guys. Yes, Serena. That's what we're talking about. Deja vu is so interesting, isn't it? Jesse, you're at home in, what's MTNS? In the mountains? Misty, isn't it so lovely? I love, for those of you who follow me for quite some time, I only read with this deck. More or less. Hey, Vanda. Visiting your parents. That's fun. Toronto. Oh my goodness. Is it cold there right now? TC. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes I feel like there are certain places also that, like, you could have a lot of, like, connection in. Like, you could go somewhere and feel like you just keep meeting soulmate, 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 soulmate. Soul, yeah, mate. No question about it. You know, it's like, it gets to the point where you just, it's like you feel like you're walking on kryptonite, lands of kryptonite. I'm hearing that specifically. I'm hearing it in that way, like, could be specifically for you. Really? Go Teresa. Oh, cool. What's your sign? What are your signs? Is it your main sign, sun, moon, and all that? Did you really fuse? Shannon, you're in New York? Hmm. Oh, your moon Sag, Ebony. Huh, that's my moon sign too. It was interesting in the earlier read, in the earlier live reading, it was like there were so many people with Sagittarius, like a ton of people with Sagittarius, like Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising, Venus, Mars. Huh. Tel Aviv. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that came through. Actually, more came through in one of the readings. I haven't yet posted. It was specifically about Tel Aviv. I think it was either Cancer or Gemini. This thing is so cozy. I might just sleep with it on. So I have a question. How would you guys interpret who is familiar with the North Node and the South Node? Who's like pretty familiar with astrology in general? Jesse, we know you were listening. That's good. We know you picked stack 4, you know what I mean? So, like, how would you interpret, it's like an example, like, how would you interpret a North Node in Capricorn and a South Node in Cancer? Wow. Oh my goodness, Caroline. So I had a similar experience, but in like another city. It was so weird. I had this really weird experience, like, that I had never felt before. Like, I remember walking down this one street in this one city, and it almost felt as if there was like a spider web of energy that I like stepped into, and I was like, I felt like I was suspended. Like, I don't know what. That was really, really weird. And I was like, oh my goodness. I think I'm in quicksand. I mean, it felt like that. Like quicksand, like energetic quicksand. And so, you know, it's like also kryptonite again. Like that feeling of like, you know, you feel like you tap into something. Work to family. Victoria, is that what that is? Oh my goodness. It was like, but it was really uncomfortable. Like, I was like, I have to get out of here, but I felt like I couldn't get out. Like, I was like stuck on the street. It was so weird. I was like, I can't step out of the space. Possibly, but I had never been there, like, in this lifetime. It was my first time walking down that street. Really, Serena? Oh my goodness. I just got back from Arizona, actually, but I didn't make it to Sedona. I really wanted to visit, but it didn't happen this time. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle. Super. Yeah, I am. Tapping my foot. Yeah. Whew. Mm-hmm. Christina. Time travel commenting. She says she's 14 minutes behind. It's okay, Christina. We won't judge you. That's alright. Really, Michelle? Like, what do you mean? It's raining here too, Serena. Yeah, it is raining here. Oh, holy moly. Crypnosis 369. Pluto at 29 degrees. Is Pluto in the room? We don't want to say anything behind Pluto's back. Okay, when he's at 29 degrees. Okay, we need to only, I'm hearing, address the real deal there. I'm hearing as well. And Pluto, to say Pluto at 29 degrees, there's so many factors to be at play. All right, I can't like call it out like, okay, every time that, let's say, that placement will be at that particular mark, that it will mean this thing. Right? So many factors. Like, your whole birth chart is this energetic dance, and every planet is involved in that discussion. It's not like, okay, you know, we isolate this part of the chart and then that in relation, but in general, Pluto at a particularly significant degree, like the 29th degree, last degree of Scorpio, or is it Scorpio? What's the sign of this in? In general, right, whatever sign it is in, at 29 degrees, that's a lot. It can be felt like pressure. Hey, Lenny. Oh, Libra. Pluto in Libra, okay. That's good. Okay, that balances things out a little bit, you know, because Scorpio is all about the extreme, Libra's all about balance. So it's like, it tempers that energy space, like, you know, but what house is it in? And it can, right? Again, it's always a matter of how we channel it, right? In the 4th house. Ooh. Do you feel like you have mood swings? Or that perhaps your home life is somehow turbulent? Mic is yours. Crypnosis. 100 people here. It's all you. It's just rose water, guys, by the way. She's drinking on the camera? No, I don't drink. No, I am not drunk. And I don't drink. It's so funny, like, people when they like, they come on the channel, usually it's, you know, if they're not familiar, let's say, with the channeling, or if they, like, just tuned in, they're like, are you on drugs? Like, they think I'm, like, drunk. I'm like, it's so funny, because I'm totally not about drugs. Like, I mean, anything can be considered a drug, or anything in excess, anything that kind of takes you outside of the space of balance in a certain way, right? You know, what is balance? Yeah, it's always perception, right? Yeah. Some people look at it, they're like, you know, I see it beyond that. Yeah, I don't like the feeling of drinking at all. It's so funny because, oh, really, markers? Really? Thank you, Lenny. I'm all bundled up tonight. Do you even see me? The majority, I think, of the real estate on the screen is taken up by clothing. Yeah, I'm not a fan of drinking. My space is not, like, freezing. But in general, I am cold. But I was mentioning earlier, like, I just like to get cozy, you know? There's someone I know, it's kind of funny. Because, like, we had kind of, like, connected at a certain point, and I remember he asked me, we were, like, on this, like, I don't know, whatever you can call it, like, the first date or whatever, okay, this first, like, encounter, and he was like, hey, are you cold? Do you want my jacket? And we're, like, walking outside, and I'm, like, always cold, usually, like, it's rare that I would be like, I don't need a jacket, okay, like, you know, even if, let's say, it's kind of warm out, I like to just kind of, like, have a jacket on, and I was like, no, I'm fine, you know, like, didn't want to give any kind of impression, whatever. So I don't know, like, if he is watching this, like, he's probably like, that liar. Encounter of the oh my god kind. That's funny, yeah. You had to stop what? Cynthia? Oh, yeah. They say that actually drinking, it opens your chakras. So you have to be quite, you know, aware. That's why they call it spirits. I read that somewhere. They're like, yeah, so, alcohol called spirits because when you drink, this is what I read, or you're more susceptible, you're more vulnerable, your chakras are actually more open, supposedly, what I read somewhere. That's why they call them spirits. Yeah. I also like to be present. Like, I find that, like, if I would drink, I would be, like, out of it. Like, I would feel, like, disconnected. I don't like that. I want to be focused and, like, present. Is there no heat in your room? Oh, man. No, I just love to be cozy. Just imagine what this must look like. 80 degrees. Yeah, I also feel really uncomfortable when I'm around people who are drinking a lot. And I found that I was thinking, maybe it's because, like, there is this weird activity going on. I don't want to judge. I'm not weird, but... Bandito, he's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping. One right there. 101. 111 people in the room. Bandito! Such a sweetie. I just can't get over, like, he used to always come through, like, in the Scorpio readings. Almost every time. And I think he does have a lot of Scorpio in his chart. But we adopted him, so we don't have the exact birth date. Hey, baby, Glacy Vasquez. I hope I said that right. Natalie had I. Go, Teresa. Yeah, Shannon, I agree. Like, I get, like, I don't know. I also have a lot of water in my chart, so, you know. It's like, I don't know, I feel like I need to ground and, you know, drinking and, you know, and that kind of, like, which is interesting because, you know, I meditate, but also meditation can take you into another dimension. I also have to ground with that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's like too much of that Neptunian energy. Oh my. I'm originally from Los Angeles. One second, guys. Much love to you. Much love to you. What do you mean 0 water here, Jesse? Like you're out of water? You think people are gonna think this is weird? They're gonna wonder why there's no reading if we're just chatting on here? It should be okay, right? They'll get it. Like maybe they'll rewind and they'll see, oh, like the readings are earlier in the video. I hope so. Tonight is the night. It sure is, baby. Yeah, the North Node is actually Capricorn for me. So, hey Mona, yeah, we just moved through the stacks. So, if you want to pick a stack, you could just fast forward to the beginning of the video, and then pick your stacks, and then you know, multiple stacks, whatever you feel guided to watch, and then it was 1 through 5, so 5 stacks. Hopefully there are timestamps. I hope there are timestamps there. When I get off, I'll make sure, and if they're not there, I'll put them through. Ooh, Neptune in Sagittarius in the first house. They're so... Dara, are you? Then you can fast forward beginning of the video and pick your stacks there. This is live right now. Okay, so Neptune in Sagittarius in the first house affect your personality. Well, anything in the first house is going to be quite prominent. That's like the birth house, the first house that you move through in a certain way. It's like related to your rising ascendant sign, which rules also your physical appearance, your body. It's also the first impression that people usually have of you. Like when people meet you, they'll usually feel the energy of your rising ascendant sign. So for example, like when people meet me, right, they usually feel like, let's say I don't talk to them, right? Let's say we don't exchange, we don't have a conversation, but they just see me. They usually feel Scorpio energy. And it's funny because when we do actually have a conversation, we do end up talking, let's say over time when we become friends, whatever it is, when we become friends, we're all friends, right? But when they get to kind of like know my character a little bit, they're like, "You're like so nice. I thought you were so mean when I first saw you. Like you look really intense, and you looked like, you know, like you didn't want to talk to me." Like some people say that, and I'm like, really? I guess it's the Scorpio thing, because you know Scorpio's intense. It could be a good thing in certain situations, right? Yeah, Scorpio rising is usually like pretty intimidating. Like you look at them and you're like, damn. You could usually tell when someone's Scorpio rising. They usually got like really big eyes as well. They got this like penetrating stare gaze. Usually, if they've got a lot of Scorpio in general, there will be that magnetism. You know, Sun sign Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. The rising sign specifically, though, will shape the physical body in a certain way it can. So, to answer your question, yeah, I got the Scorpio rising, but I got the Sun in Pisces, you know. Neptune's really the one at the wheel there, right? Get distracted, carried away. Moon in Sagittarius, and Jupiter jumping around all over the place. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, to answer your question about the Neptune in Sagittarius, the first house, and disclaimer, okay, it will always, there's so many factors at play, right? Always. You know, for example, where's the ruler of Sagittarius as well? Jupiter. Where's Jupiter? What's Jupiter doing? What is Jupiter concerned about? What house is it in? What sign is it in? So on and so forth. So it's like a discussion, right? And like everybody is involved in that discussion. All of your planets are involved in that discussion. So you know, if we isolate one part of the chart and we say, okay, let's look at Neptune and Sagittarius in the first house, we could say in a general way that, in particular, that Neptune is a prominent planetary energy in your birth chart to begin with, because anything in the first house, again, is going to be part of, you know, also your being in an integral way where you kind of identify clearly and strongly with that planet and the energy associated with it. So you might find Neptune is related to Pisces, related to the 12th house. So you might find that in general, there is a strong also affluence. I'm hearing like even like you feel that energy is prominent for you in some way. Like you feel very also connected to that archetype. Perhaps, again, so many factors be at play. That's just an example of how that can be interpreted. But you know, everyone's chart will be particular for them. And the way they channel it also. Because, you know, every planet also can have a vibration of how it's channeled. So Neptune in its highest form is very creative. It's super, super, super also visually oriented, visionary. It's transcendental. It sees beyond, it sees through, right? There are no lines, definitions, guidelines, boundaries to the thriving space for Neptune. But when Neptune is not really channeled properly, it can manifest as addiction, unfortunately. If there's a lot of Neptune in the chart and, you know, someone feels that they're prone in that way, specifically to also excess, like they feel like they can get carried away or they feel like they're ungrounded, then, you know, that's also, you know, Neptune, it rules also illusion. It rules fantasy. And again, that's a wonderful thing. It can be, okay, the dream-like state. But, you know, how is it actually manifesting? You're in control of that at the end of the day. What is control? It's so funny, because I just recently realized, like, how kind of, like, how philosophical I kind of am. I just realized, like, kind of what philosophy is, and it was specifically when I met someone who was like, they majored in philosophy, and then they went on to get their master's in philosophy, and then they went on to the other PhD in philosophy. And I was like, I had dinner with this person, and it was so funny because we ended up having like an 8-hour conversation. But what does this really mean? But it can mean anything. But what does that mean? No, continuing on and on to the point where, you know, the restaurant was closed and we needed to get out of there. You know what I mean? You do have Scorpio dominant in your chart. How so, Emma? Like, in what way? Oh, Michelle, okay. I believe it is the Cancer reading, or possibly even the Gemini reading. It had to do with luggage and travel. Something getting left behind or something like that. Specifically, if I do recall. But there was a lot that came out, you know? Okay. So, you know, it was channeled, so you'll watch that and interpret it as you do when it comes out. I think it's a Cancer Gemini reading. If it's not in those, then it might be in Libra. But I heard it was Tel Aviv came through strongly in that reading. It was like very clear too. Oh, hello, Lit. Little pixie. Life is philosophy, right? It's all perception. Oh, seriously, Christina. Oh my goodness. It was like, I don't even think we finished the meal. I think it was like tragic. I think we left a lot left on the plate because there was so much talking. It was a lot of talking. Yeah, a whole lot of talking. Have you had an experience like that, Christina? Oh yeah, Emma. Like, for example, what do you have in the 8th house? You have a Scorpion. Do you have a stellium in the 8th house? I almost drank directly from the rose water bottle. That is so strong. Oh, Victoria. Oh, I hate leaving food on the plate. I will mop the plate clean. Just like something. I don't like leaving food on the plate. You know, like some people they'll leave like, you know, some crumbs here and there. No. Clean up. Stallion. Where's the stallion at? He's in my 8th house? Where's the key to get into that room? I need to get in there fast. Was it really, Michelle? Oh my god, that's so magical. I'm straight up drinking it tonight, so I guess it's part of mine too. I love rose water though. Oh, you have oh my, you have Moon, Neptune, Uranus. Holy moly, and they're conjunct in your 8th house with Pluto and the North Node, Jupiter, and Scorpio. Okay. Oh my. So, I mean, well, there's a lot of Scorpio. All right. So then we look at Scorpio. We say, well, that's Pluto and that's Mars. And, you know, so there could be a lot of, again, there's so many factors, right? Your sun, your aspects, the signs, you know, the signs that those planets are in. It's all so intricate. Hey Frost, the live was a pick a card, and you can rewind the video to the very beginning of it to pick the cards that you feel guided to watch. And we're just doing some chatting here. I'm not Lebanese, but I get that a lot. I get Israeli, I get Greek. 1 second, guys. Because you have a husband. Straight up. Let me get to the point. Like, do you have a husband? Devon. You know, Go-Go, like, surprisingly, I'm not. I was sweating in that earlier live. Oh my goodness. That's because that got heated. That reading was heated. Really, Markers? I lived in Italy for like a year. Maybe that's why. But no, I felt truly connected to that place. Like, specifically Sicily. That's my home. I'm feeling like there's some kind of long history there for me. Like the minute, okay, I got to that one city in Sicily by bus. It's an interesting story, actually. Like, you guys want to hear it? Hello, Xenia. Yeah, there were quite a bit of people. So your rising will always be cusping your first house. It's an angle that cusps, that begins your first house. You do most likely need your exact birth time to know where your moon sits. So yeah, it was interesting in Sicily. I was actually like, I was like visiting, and then I was starting a study abroad program there, and so I had started in one city. It was in southern Italy, and then I had a program in the summer that would be in Sicily actually, which is like even further south in the southern part of Italy. And I believe it's actually detached. It's like its own little island technically. Um, is it? Or maybe it's got just this little canal. Yeah, because I got there by bus, so it's connected, but it's got this little sliver of land, I think, if I do remember, um, that connects it to the southern part of Italy. And so, anyhow, I'm on this bus, and I have no idea what to expect of this place. Okay, like I knew really nothing about the city in Sicily, and actually, I didn't want to leave really the place that I was at before then. I felt kind of like, I'm like, oh, I'm having fun where I'm at. I wanted to kind of like stay and um, kind of connect further in that place that I was at. So I was kind of like, oh, all right, well, all right, I guess I'll do it. So got on the bus, and I'm like on this bus, and it's like 6 hours to Sicily, something like that, six, maybe even more, eight, something of that nature. And so I fell asleep at a certain point on the bus. And all of a sudden, I woke up, and it was this feeling. I look out the window, I'm like, I don't know where I am, but I feel so good. I feel so connected. Like, I'm in love. It was a feeling of love. Like, that's what I felt. It's the only way I could describe it. Like, I felt like I was in love. I looked out the window, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I wasn't thinking that we were arrived at all. I didn't really know where we were. I look on the map, and I see we had just entered the city. The city was Catania. Um, we did just enter. We just crossed the border into the city of Catania officially, and so that was a place that I was going to study. And oh my goodness, it was like it was everything. I loved Sicily, and specifically Catania. I visited a few other cities in Sicily, but Catania. Yeah, I do travel alone oftentimes, but when I studied abroad there, so I was with a group, but I initially I met up with someone who I already knew in Italy, and I spent some time there with them, and then I went to Sicily after that, and so that was kind of like the departure was solo, but in general, like when I went to Japan, yeah, I was alone. Korea, I was alone. Yeah, Italy is interesting. Like, so many parts of Italy are just, well, first of all, there's so many parts of Italy, and they're so drastically different from one to the next. Like, anyone in the north of Italy kind of disregards Sicily as part of Italy. But it's interesting. Are you really, Nancy, Sicilian? Yeah, I'm Persian. Technically, but we did a DNA test. So somebody did some sort of analysis, and I think that we originated in Spain. You can relate to being cold all the time. Sleep with a heating pad at night in Toronto, yeah. I'm telling you, like, even if it's summer, sometimes I'll wear like a little sweater. Like, I don't know, I just like the cozy thing. Cozy thing, Ooh, Peru. Ooh, your man is Sicilian as well. Is this the maintenance guy that came through in that reading earlier, Shannon? It's like not that cold here. I'm not gonna embarrass the city here and say that it's truly cold. And really, because other places get way colder, but I think it's about 50 degrees. Whoever's in Toronto here is probably laughing at that. 50? I would be in my bathing suit. It's raining? Great. I'll be splashing around in the rain. 50 degrees. No problem. I'm gonna learn how to swim in the rain. Serena, did you really? You lived in Japan for 2 years. Wow, where did you live? What city? And did you know Japanese? I found that it was awfully isolating not to know the language. All I knew was arigato. Really, Cynthia? That's so funny. Wow. Interesting. Oh, you're in San Fran. Yeah, 48. It's like something like that, I think, here. 30 degrees in Philadelphia. Oh my. Jesse, you're from Peru? Yeah, there's a lot of history, Aquilia, in Sicily, and I think I was like so fascinated by that as well. Like when I came to when I officially arrived in Catania, I was like, wow, my first impression was like, it doesn't feel like Italian only. It feels kind of also Middle Eastern. It feels kind of like even French. It feels like it has this eclectic influence. And it was interesting because actually then I ended up learning the history of Catania, and I'm like, oh, that's why. There were all these conquests, and supposedly that's part of it. You know, they had the Arabs conquer the land at a certain point in time, and then they had the Norman, they had the French, and you know, so it's like there is this cross-cultural influence, supposedly. 32 degrees in upstate New York, really? It's only 32? Upstate gets super cold, no? So it's pretty warm, especially for December. What do you think? Because also, this is something I've been realizing. Like, okay. Like, I went to school in Boston. This was around 2009, something like that. 2013. And how many years ago was that? Okay, we're in 20 now. 2020. So this was like 7 years ago, right? It was freezing in October. It was snowing in October. I mean, this is Boston, right? But like it was freezing in even fall, getting into fall, moving into, and now it's, I mean, I'm not in Boston anymore, but I spend a lot of time on the East Coast, and it's not like it was. Does anyone else feel that way? Like the temperature is changing. It's getting warmer in general. Yeah, like I feel like that's warm. 32 degrees from upstate New York. My goodness. Hello, 2Decade. Hey. Saggy Pete, you will never know what a Cancer man's intentions. Really? Why do you think that is? What is the reason for that? We have the chariot here mirroring the Justice card. Tell me. Huh. Reading the comments here. Tracy, you're in Boston. Oh, I love Boston. Vic. Oh my goodness. No, I haven't been to Egypt, technically. But it's funny because I have visions of what I see desert land, and so many of my visions do they relate? Interesting. Why do you think that is? Like, what is the protective mechanism with Cancer? Now, what do you think about Scorpio? Do you think Scorpio is manipulative? And what is manipulation? Victoria, like sometimes I remember specifically, this was like years ago. This was before I even like I was on the channel. Like I would sometimes imagine like distinct places. Like I would let's say imagine where I would love to live, and then I would have this very clear vision come through, and it was something. Usually was in the desert. It was usually, and I remember this one even structure. It was like a certain type of house that was like in my mind's eye, and it was so particular. And it was funny because just recently I was watching this documentary on like some kind of this monument or this building in Egypt. I'm like, wait, that is like exactly what I was imagining. What? Hello, Benin. So yeah, um, it's interesting. And like sometimes, I'm so glad to hear that divine infinite love tarot. Heather that I am. Like sometimes like I'll walk, let's say, down a certain street, or I'll be in a certain area, or I'll even like I travel from one city to the next, and I'll get this like sudden feeling. It'll be like really clear and really strong, and sometimes I'll even have like I'll have like it's almost as if it's a movie playing out. It's real weird, and I'm like I feel like I've been here. It's like something like that. Kind of like deja vu, but something I don't know. It's more like specific or elaborate. Lisbon, yes. I visited Lisbon as well, but I was with my family at that time. Hey Lou. Well, Victoria, I am like considering moving. So right now I'm more on the East Coast, and it's time to decide about the next step and stage, and Arizona is something that I'm considering. So, it's desert. California's technically desert, but I'm not a huge fan of California. Like, I'm not a huge fan. But I'm really drawn to like even like I'm really curious about Spain. Do you? Yeah, people say they love Sedona. Some people say it's really intense. Like the energy there was super intense. Yeah, somebody else said it's funny that you say New Mexico. A lot of people have told me New Mexico. I've never really thought of it. Um, yeah, just gotta roll with it. Flagstaff. We passed through Flagstaff. We stayed there for one night, and I was like, well, I want to spend more time here, but we had to move on to Scottsdale and spend time there. So I didn't really get to like really immerse myself in Flagstaff, but I liked the air quality there. It was really crisp, really beautiful. I like that. Vic, really? You heard some weird stuff going on in Sedona. Yeah, there's like a vortex there, right? Like, I would wonder, would you feel ungrounded there? Like, if you're really like, let's say, you're really into energy work, and you're really like you meditate, and you're really sort of in touch and in tune. Would you find that it almost like it ungrounds you? Because sometimes it's like even just in pure meditation, vortex or not, it's like you feel like you can get carried away a little bit. So what are your experiences, or what do you guys know about, let's say, Sedona, living in Sedona and being really also sensitive to energy? Would you feel like you're floating? I know somebody mentioned that actually earlier, I think, in the reading. Is Flagstaff awesome, Christina? I'm really curious about it. It is intense, Serena. Like you had, like that's, you had an experience there? Oh, that's great. It's important, Christina, to feel that, you know, it's down to earth. That's what I'm not really a huge fan of, like, in Los Angeles, is that, I don't know, it's, you know, you felt more grounded. In general, I felt really grounded in Arizona. I felt really grounded. Like, especially compared to living in a city, you know? Not to say that Arizona's not a city, but let's say in a more like condensed space where there's a lot of apartments, you know? Just a lot going on in a really compact space. I'm hearing the trilogy here. I'm not sure what that's alluding to. If somebody just tuned in or something. I don't know what just coming through though. So mention that. Ooh, a biomat for grounding. Cool. Emma, you're talking about Sedona. Like you feel like a place that's like super like you step into a vortex and you're like I'm this far away from just kind of transcending this reality. Oh man. But hey, somebody mentioned it's grounding. It's interesting. Right? Like, how do you ground, for example, in a place that you get snow in? Right? Because being barefoot is so important. Like, it helps just connect you to the synchronization of the Earth's grid. Right? It's like it helps connect you yet again, like to that natural frequency. So when it's snowing out and it's super cold, you know, like sometimes when I was in New York, I would just walk outside and I'd just like put my hands on this tree. New Mexico is cheap. Yeah, I've been hearing things about New Mexico. Oh, really? Victoria, you felt that way about Colorado? Mm. Ooh, I love spoken quartz. Hmm. Anthony, tent city? What do you mean? Good night, TC. Thank you for tuning in. Love and light to you. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful month. Tempe. We visited Tempe. Tempe. However they call it. Tempe is nice. Yes. Psych. 369 delicious. Yep. Breaking Bad. What do you think of New Mexico? Oh, did you just see the trilogy? Okay. Wow. Right? Like even when I was in Phoenix, even when I was in Scottsdale, oh my, even Tempe, like the stars, you could really see them. I mean, that's all relative. There are people who are like, it's just hanging right above my very face. You know, that's like true, real visibility. But I mean, relatively, I was like, I could see the stars. That was amazing. Like, I never experienced something like that, except for Hawaii. Hawaii was amazing. You could see the stars real clearly there. Yeah, what about Tucson? Yeah. Yeah, psych, hands on the tree. Yeah, there are a lot of ways even, you know, you can astral ground. What is it about Paris? Yeah, you know, I feel the seasons, they have also their place in a certain way. It's like, well, you know, maybe the cold is good for you. I love hot, dry weather. But then I'm like, well, you know, maybe the cold also has, you know, its benefits. Yeah, Anthony, I know. It's a disaster. But wow, Christina, wow, really? You lived in all those places in Arizona. Okay. And you love Flagstaff. They got a big organic scene there, huh? Thank you, Gogo. So cool to feel you here. Thank you for connecting. I'm in DC right now. Really, Steve? Wow, wait, so a number of you are from Flagstaff? How interesting. Or you visited Flagstaff? It seems like a lot of you are familiar with specifically Arizona. Really, Emma? What about Portland? I've never been, but I've heard amazing things. A lot of people rave about Portland. Are you really, Jesse? You're in DC, huh? What do you feel about DC? I've heard about Silver Spring, never been. People rave about Silver Spring. Oh, really? You too, Flagstaff. I don't watch TV, nope. Here's the only thing. How is the air also in Arizona? Like the ozone, pollution, all that. That's interesting. The Phoenicians, Portlandia. That's so funny. I've watched a few episodes of Portlandia. DC's like Philadelphia. I've never been to Philadelphia. Snow keeps the bugs away, keeps the fleas away, keeps them off of Bandit. Bandit lived with me in DC for a certain period of time. Yeah. I remember one time I was walking with him, we were walking in the snow, it was so cold. And his paws were freezing, he just kind of stopped walking, and I was like, oh. I remember I picked him up and and my hands were freezing. It like suddenly the temperature just shifted dramatically in a matter of like minutes. And it was like the first time real winter cold came through, and I was like, picked him up. He's a boxer, he's pretty big, you know. I remember I had his paws in my hand, I was like blowing on his paws, and my phone was dead. I couldn't order an Uber. It was just like, yeah. So I literally carried him home. And I think I took my gloves out of my backpack as well, and I put them on his paws. Oh man, it was Hawaii. Oh my. The stars, the air. beautiful. Doesn't it really have an amazing vibe? Yeah, clean air. I agree. Super important. Like, man, I mean, you spend like a full day, even a few hours in New York. Oh my goodness. I remember I would come home and I'd like take a wipe to my face and it'd be like black. There'd be so much, like, the cotton pad would turn like black from all the dust that I was taking, you know. Power of the P! We don't work with sense, don't worry. No. It's so funny because, let me say this. The person who texted right above you, it says no go. And the time was 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know what that's alluding to. All right. It may not be the answer, but it might give you some insight. Flaxlandia. Do you really think I'm always in Europe? That's so funny. Is it because of the scarf and the hat? Oh my goodness. Poor Bandito. Does Flagstaff have some pollution? I've heard things about Denver, like, having some pollution. Long Island, yeah, I used to live there too. Oh, Queens. Rural areas. I'm so drawn to Europe. I'm super drawn to Europe. But I only speak Italian, so it would have to be somewhere in Italy. Or if I were to pick up a language, Spain. But I'm like, I'm at that point where I'm just thinking, I don't know, like, does it make sense to settle? Sagittarius moon talking. What do you mean settle? We need to continue the traveling thing, you know, the thing that we signed up for. You know what I'm saying? The luggage is eternally packed. We never unpack and really settle. That's like that Sagittarius. I got so much Sag in my chart. Yeah, French is like interesting. I took a year of French and it was like it was all good until we got to the whole number thing. Oh man. Oh, but French is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally right, Tracy. That's how I feel. I feel like when you're constantly also pushing your own limit, it's indispensable what you learn. I love Virginia. Yeah, I actually technically live in DC, but I'm like almost always in Virginia. I love Virginia. Like Arlington. It's fun. Oh, that's good, Victoria. Super. New York is super. It's all relative, but it's super. It's like, unless you want to live in a basement and you want your roommates to be roaches and rats, maybe mice or whatever else, you know, if you don't, you know, unless you don't, you know, you don't have a problem with also not having direct sunlight in your basement, probably studio apartment, you know, it will be super expensive. A closet, yeah. I swear, I remember when I was looking for an apartment in New York. This was like 4 years ago or something like that. About 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I like found this place on Craigslist, and I'm like, all right, okay, nice area, okay. You know, let's just check it out. Okay, it's like a room in an apartment. Okay, a room in an apartment. It was a bed in a kitchen, and the closet was like, it was an inflatable. It's like one of those pop up closets. And I remember she opened the door to this apartment, and you know she had the bedroom, and she opened the door, and it like the door like grazed the counter in the kitchen, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then she, you know, she didn't have to do much showing. She just turned. She was like, "Here's the bed." It's like an army cot right in the kitchen. And that was like I think $1,600. I did not take it. Yeah, I was like, this is so interesting. Never seen something like this before. At this price point, you know what I mean? It was interesting. I'll never forget that. I think she had like also a little curtain, you know, to give you that sense of privacy. So this is your home. What do you want me to cook you for breakfast? I'll just serve it to you right through the curtain. Yeah, so. Yeah, everything's so compact in Europe. Like, it's funny, when people come to America from Europe, as has been my experience, they're like, what is this? They're like, why do you have so much space? Why do you need this huge house and this shower? It was like, could fit like 8 people in here? Like, why do you need like all of also this stuff? You know, that's what I've experienced. Like, Europe is extremely efficient when it comes to that, as it could be perceived. Absolutely no go. Absolutely, might even count more. Because sometimes we could travel, but we're not present. Like we're not really experiencing it. You know, so it's like, you know, sometimes meditation is so powerful, more so than actual physically moving somewhere, perhaps. Super Serena. Oh my gosh. But there's nothing like New York, I feel, at the same time. Like, I think New York sets that standard, that bar. It's like, it's so alive in a lot of ways, but it's also really, it's congested on a number of levels, you know. Especially if you find that you know, you oftentimes get overstimulated. Sometimes like a big city, especially like New York, there's a lot. There's just a lot. There's a lot. That's what I've heard. I've heard about those Uber helicopters. That's hilarious. Is there really a meme like that? Oh, I buy it. It's true. It's true. Like, it's free and it's super powerful. Like, you can totally feel that you're there. Yep. Riding a bike. Love Europe. Parts that I've been in. But you know, every place has its thing. Like, you know, there are things about Japan that I love. There are things about Italy, about Spain. You know, every place has its like quirks. Yeah, Emma, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jehan? Where did you come from? Jehan just magically appears. Hello. What about those micro homes? Who's familiar with those? That's an interesting concept. Even the ones that are mobile, like you can take them anywhere. Yeah, I feel like an RV is kind of cool, markers, right? Like, you just take your home with you. Uber train? Wow, interesting. Yes, Christina, totally. I totally feel that way as well. It's like it's just the air. It was something about the air. It's like the vibe. It just changes. It shifts. The minute you get off of that plane, specifically, what I've experienced, for example, like, it's real cool. Everywhere has its thing. True Sag Moon, I swear. Oh man. Yeah, just go everywhere. Yes, in a big shop. What do you mean? You want to open a shop in an RV? Yep. Just need a park. I have visited Canada briefly. It was so beautiful. Ketchikan? Is that Alaska? Hold on. Canada. We visited, I think it was Victoria. Yeah. So beautiful. So charming. And then, yeah, we visited Ketchikan. And then I remember we hiked through I think on the border between, I believe it was Canada and Alaska or something. I don't know. It was the border or something, and we ate these wild berries. That's all I remember. They were delicious. Chantal, you want to leave New York? You feel overwhelmed in New York, or why? Yeah, it's like, I guess that's why sometimes, people, they move to these rural places. They would prefer to have, like, a more comfortable living situation, And then they'll just travel. They'll pay, like, really cheap rent, and then they'll just travel, or they'll spend it in other ways. I guess it just depends, what you feel called to as well. Oh gosh, J. Vera Montes G, you live in downtown LA. Oh my god, how do you breathe there, man? The air is terrible. Like, I hate to say that, but I was considering down in LA because my family lives in LA. They want me to move to LA, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel it here. And I was like considering, okay, well, downtown LA is kind of like New York. Maybe it's like the East Coast version. It's like the West Coast version of the East Coast, and vice versa, the East Coast version of the West Coast. And like, I spent one day there. My sinus was like clogged. I felt irritation. My whole sinus tract, my nose, my eyes, my ears are all itching. I couldn't. It was too much pollution in the air. It always reminded me even of Korea. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Tiffany. You too, baby. Blackberry bushes. Yeah. Right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're eating those wild berries. Wild berries. Yeah, wild berries are delicious. Wait, so J. Viramontes G. So you feel the effect of the air pollution. In what way? Like, what do you feel? I hope you're still here. Yeah, okay, there is. Yeah, it feels sticky. Yes! Yes. Listen, the minute I get off of the plane and I land in LA, I feel sticky. The air feels sticky, and I feel it's humid as well. Like, I feel LA is kind of, people, you know, LA is not humid. I feel LA is humid. Well, specifically the part, I guess, that I'm in. I don't know. Zenith. That's so funny. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. She's American. Acai berries. Ooh, Sweden. I have visions of Sweden, first of all. That's like one of the places that I have visions about as well. Like, I imagine this place. It's like so specific. Everything just seems kind of like clean. Clean and neat. Cuba. I'm so curious about Cuba. Like, for some reason, I feel really, really curious about Cuba. Like, I don't know. I wanna go there. Rent is $100 a month? Yeah, traffic is insane. It's freaking insane. It's like, it doesn't. Like, in New York, right? Everyone's using public transit. Like, you see people from all walks of life using the same bus, the same subway, the same, it's like there is also a sense of community. That's what I like specifically about spaces that really utilize public transportation, because it's, LA is like kind of, it's got this, oh, Big Bear. Yeah, Marshadra. Like, I was looking at some of the numbers on the air pollution, and it's atrocious. Like, in certain places. I mean, it's all relative, of course, but LA is pretty much up there. Scorpio. Ooh, Ireland. Really? Do you feel that way, Tracy? Hmm. It's funny because I feel like there is something in retrograde Isaiah. Like, the other day, I was like, I could swear it's Mercury retrograde. I feel it. Raspberries. I'm so up for that. Raspberry picking. Yeah, $100 a month. Hook it up. For 3 hours. That's right. That's like a chair for you to kick your feet up in. 3 hours, aka like maybe a massage chair. $100 easy. For 3 minutes. Sorry, 3 hours. No one's got the time for that. Yeah, that's interesting. $100. Emma, I would consider it. I would consider it. It's like your skin is the largest organ. What you put on your skin, you absorb. Actually, you absorb into your body. So it's like, you imagine that you're eating what is on your skin. That's why they say it's not good to wear makeup and things like that. But always relative, right? Always, what is good, what is bad. Always, take it as you will. But in terms of like the absorption of, they say that think of it like, well, what you put on your skin, you're eating. So yeah, I'd say that air pollution could perhaps have an effect, absolutely, on also your immune system. Okay, this is real interesting. The astrology signs assigned to the states. It's so fascinating. Because there are certain states that, well, they have like their own like astrology sign. It's so interesting. Is California Cancer? Yeah, I feel like it's just like, I don't want to say it's lazy, but it's just super laid back. The bus fare in LA? The bus doesn't even exist. It might not even show up. You could be waiting for that thing for like 3-4 hours. After you've hiked 3-4 hours to get to it from your last destination. The public transportation, unfortunately, from what I have experienced in LA, has not really been efficient. And I don't know the fare. Yeah, Chantal? A lot of energy, huh? Trapped, overwhelmed. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, in LA, it's mostly Uber. I mean, that's just. I don't know. I found at least where I'm at. Like, I know that there is more extensive transportation system. Like, not exactly where I'm at. So, but really, I mean, you got spoiled once you live in these big cities like New York, even Boston, that have great transportation systems. Man, it's like after that, like it spoils you because you're like, I could walk like 1 block and I'd reach, another metro stop. What do you mean I have to walk like 7 minutes down the highway? People look like, if you walk in LA, like, period, people stare at you. They're like, what are you walking for? Take your car, drive. Did you see the traffic? Is what the traffic is for you to drive. So it's like, it's all relative. Some people come to LA and they're like, I love it. It's so wild. There's so much going on. I don't know. It's kind of sleepy. Really? Is the valley like not chill? Yes, salt baths. Yes, salt baths. Yeah, Tiffany, of course. Just, scroll back to the beginning of the video, and then you could choose your cards and watch there. So, like, Hawaii was interesting. I was in Hawaii for a little while as well. Like, lots of people raving about Hawaii, even from a metaphysical standpoint. They're like, it's an amazing place. Just got this energy, right? It's alive. The land is alive. It was beautiful. Yeah. Scooters, those things go like 90 miles an hour. You need like a permit to ride one of those things. It's like you could start a high-speed chase with a scooter nowadays. Like those things, they go fast. I've never ridden one though. Yeah, I feel it's disappointing, the gentrification, like specifically of downtown LA, certain parts of it, it was really disturbing. Like, I don't know. Austria, wow. That's like actually I think ranked as the #1 city quality of life. I think they've been ranked number 1 for like 9 or 10 years. Oh. Really? Oregon? Oh, is it Aquarius and you're Aquarius? That's so funny. Chicago. Oh my god, I love Chicago. I spent like 2 days in Chicago, but I loved it. I loved it. It was just like, I don't know, I loved the heartbeat of that city. It was beautiful. Do they have a good transportation system? Yeah, it does take bravery. Salt baths during the full moon. Interesting, yeah. Oh wait, markers, you have a few scooters? Oh my goodness. Different speeds? Live action's new scooters chase. I'm gonna get you. I wonder what state is Pisces. I think I read that one time. It was I think maybe it was Seville, Spain, possibly. A B C D E F G H alpha. That's cute. We're all just nerding out here at the holiday. The holiday here. Yeah, it's getting colder, Miriam. Getting colder and colder. No, I was outside and so I had this on and then I just like straight up came into the room and started doing the reading. So we're just keeping cozy. Hello, Nastia Shamis from Israel. Wow. Very curious. Is Los Angeles a Virgo sun? Yeah, because I've seen like websites, they give different signs to the states. Like, I don't know. They give like some will say Cancer for California, some will say Virgo. Hey, Cindy. Cindy. Sydney. You live in Sydney, Australia? Your city. I'm super curious about Australia as well. I haven't made it out there yet. I'm so curious about Spain. I visited northern Spain, parts of northern Spain, but I'm super curious about the south. Oh, is Miami Pisces? I've never been to Florida. But I considered that it would be similar to LA. What do you guys think? Is Florida kind of comparable to LA? On steroids? Like how? Oh, you're in Australia, Emma? Here's a funny. Ooh, Portugal. Yes. I visited Portugal. Yeah, Lisbon, Porto. Beautiful. So lovely. The weather was amazing, but the air quality was kind of hit or miss from what I saw. But we were driving along the highway, so maybe that kind of but the air just hot and dry. It was in the summer. And it's interesting, like from my impression of Portugal was that it was like a mix of so many different places. Like you look at the street and you're like, I feel like maybe this is Germany. Okay. Maybe Dutch. I'm hearing Dutch, like specifically. Like that's what I was feeling when I was there. France, even a little bit Paris. Yeah, somebody was saying Miami has that Cuban flavor. So it's kind of got the like, it's got this like tone to it. It's kind of interesting. LA is not Florida. Okay, Jay, you know you're in downtown LA. So how is it different? How's Florida like kind of different from LA in your perspective? Super humid, lots of bugs. I so am indulging my Saturday now, Victoria. You called it out, girlfriend. Oh man. We're stepping through the portal. New moon. Capricorn's my north node. Florida's nothing like Cali. Okay, interesting. Mutant roaches? What? Really, Emma? Does that mean you're at the beach in Australia? Messiah. It's interesting how you put it. Super honest. Most passive aggressive but humble people. State. Okay. I think San Francisco has great food, especially seafood. Like they, from what I've experienced, they I think that they know food. They also have, I think, an abundance of organic, really fresh food. What else? Boston, I think, has good food too. Arizona's food is good. But it's all relative. It's like where you are, what you're looking for, where you're looking. What are your impressions? Seriously, Christina? Wow. Hey, Cindy, we can rectify it. Yeah, we can work, with that. Tracy, seriously, San Fran seafood, I've heard, is the best. You hate pizza, but you're Italian. It's funny. The pizza in Italy, oh, it's not like it is here. And the ice cream, it's not like it is here. The quality is amazing. Oh yeah, Jill? Like new age. Yeah, I was kind of looking for like, well, Sedona might be a fit for you. We've been talking about that Sedona. A few people were saying it's super spiritual. Oh man, seriously? Okay, so like, Or humid and swampy. Yeah, Chiappino. In San Fran. Interesting. Spiritual but not full of hippies. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe Sedona. Maybe also LA has that spiritual vibe to it, but it's not. I don't know. Would you guys call LA hippie? I wouldn't call LA really hippie. Hippie dippy. 11:11 on the clock. Oh, 1:11. You know, if you're looking for that, if you're not. But I don't. I think LA is more. It's like. We're on the same time zone. Wow, yeah, Sedona. I've heard about Richmond, Virginia. Is anybody familiar with Richmond, Virginia? Venice Beach. Yeah, that's true. You got hippies in Venice Beach. That's right. That's right. One second, guys. Interesting. Yeah, you could rectify it. New Orleans, yeah, is spiritual, right? I've heard as well. Really, Jesse? Interesting. The mystery stack was not explained, really. Well, guys, this has been so fun. Oh my goodness. What a special new moon. Yeah, that's what I've heard about New Orleans. Like, it's been a lot of. They say that also about DC. It was so lovely. What are cusps reading? What are cusp readings, Tracy? Wait, what do you mean it starts snowing in LA? Uh-oh. I'm drinking straight from the rose bottle. Hold on. This is not alcohol for anyone who like literally just tuned in there. Holy moly! Right on the camera like that? I don't drink, okay? Again, for anybody who's tuned in now, they're like, what's going on? No, this is rose water. It's so funny, because my sister, she makes this, I don't know if it's a drug, but she's like, yeah, Natalie, like, because she knows, like, I don't drink, I don't do, you know, drugs, nothing like that. And she's like, you know, it's funny. I think that, like, in a past life, like, you probably did so many hardcore drugs. But now you're like, no. No more. None of that. Yes. Cindy, yep. Jesse. Yeah, I mean, meditation also is, you know, it kind of is like a drug. It can be if you meditate a lot, right? Anything can be considered also excessive. Yes, I love rose water. Christina's so cool. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you for connecting, living the light to you. It's been so fun. Thank you so much for sharing your comments. Wonderful insight. I'm going to read again through. I'm going to watch this again. I'm going to read the comments and, you know, because I am thinking of my next also move. And so this has been really helpful as well. Ooh, you're on 29 degrees of Aries. Yes, cusp. Bye, Zenith. Love you too. Good night, Kedron. Kedron, you've been here the whole time, eh? Thanks for tuning in. Saw you earlier. Yay, Jay. Sleep well. Yeah, LA. It's late now. 1:17. Roll up. Oh, is it over? Hey, it was so fun. Thank you guys for connecting. Messiah. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Serena. I'm glad that you connected. Thank you. Hold on. 29 degrees of Scorpio moon? Oh. What house? What house is it in? Yay, Jay. I will keep an eye out. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you for tuning in. All of you, thank you so much. Rolla. I think you came through quite a few times in the earlier live reading and also in this, I felt you specifically though in the earlier live reading, but you might have come through here as well. All right, Jill. Sleep well, good night. Good luck on your search. Thank you, Tracy. Love and light to you. Psych369, delicious. Miriam, ooh, it's in your 6th house. Okay, okay. Do you feel like you have obsessive tendencies? Like you get very hooked on things, like details also of certain things, like and you remember everything and you remember all the details. Oh my, psychoanalytical to a T. Moon and Scorpio in the 6th house. Oh my. At the 29th degree. Oh my. Yeah, psych. I am like that person who is like, bye. Okay, bye. 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 Oh man. It's been so nice to connect, Emma. Thank you for connecting as well. It was so fun, Tiffany. Thanks for connecting. Love and light to you. Group hug, psych. 369 delicious, delicious. I feel like I need to like read out the full name, otherwise I don't do it justice. So yeah. Good night, markers. Thank you for moderating. So wonderful of you to gavel the night through. Thank you, Miriam. So sweet. Love and light to you. Good night, Isaiah. My sun sign Pisces. I'm so happy to hear that. Ooh, I mean, you're also, you find your little twin there. Scorpio moon in the 6th house. Aw, random adventures. Okay. Good luck at work. Have fun. We will see you later. Aw, no go. Love and the light to you. Thank you so much for connecting. You're also Pisces, huh? Good night, Jessica. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so happy to hear that. Lilia, that's a huge compliment. Thank you. I'm so touched by that. Michelle, so sweet, so sweet. It's all reflective. I'm so touched by all of you. Good night, random adventures. Good night to all of you, and good morning to me. Where's my coffee? No. You guys cuddle with each other. You have fun. Where's my coffee? Me too, Jesse. I'm on that late night breakfast binge, I think, too. Cool. Alright, guys, love and light to you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. Have a beautiful holiday. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy the month. And, the Divine Echo Tarot. Oh, yay. I'm so happy to hear that, Jesse. And thank you for moderating as well. Bye, Sykes. 369, delicious, delicious. Oh, I love reading that off, like, start to end. Godcat, hey. It's so beautiful out. It's like raining. It's just so sweet. Lovely, lovely, lovely vibes here. Love and light to you all. Have a beautiful good night, day, whenever you're watching this. Enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy your pillow. I know, right? Delicious, delicious. Like, Saying it once, not enough. We gotta make sure. You have got a lot of Jupiter in your chart. By sake. Alright, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And who knows? We might hit it off tomorrow with another reading. I'll be hopefully posting the rest of the January readings for each of the signs. So feel free to tune there. Alright, love and light to you. Bye guys. Bye.